Hello, my name's Aldrich and thank you for being here. I want to save you some time, and what I've done is in the description I put timestamps below covering the key points, so feel free to skip around and go around the video and just take in what matters to you, the things that are relevant. I'm a second year university student and this is how I organize my phone so that I'm able to focus on the things that need more attention, like my exams coming up in 2 to 3 weeks time. My phone has been one of the biggest distractions in my life right now. My screen time has been ridiculous, averaging about 6 to 7 hours last week. Sometimes there's going to be days where I go beyond that, that's just average. And I thought about this for a second. So think that I need at least 7 hours of sleep. To top that off with the 7 hours on average that I'm on my phone, that's 14 hours. More than half of my day is gone by getting enough sleep, which I need. Another 7 hours just on my phone and just mindlessly consuming content. If I continue this bad habit, then this is my route to flopping my exams. Although my university exams have been moved to online, that doesn't give me the right to slack off. One of the things that's really helped me into making my phone a less distracting device is by reorganizing it completely. You can argue that I should be revising this time and I shouldn't be making this video, but YouTube has been something that I've wanted to do for a while. And after some self-reflection and some real honesty with myself, it's boiled down to me having the fear of not being good enough on this platform. And ultimately what that means is that I end up becoming a perfectionist. I've made a couple of videos for the past few months, but I'm too scared to post them because every time I watch these videos, I just doesn't feel like that's Aldrich, like that's me. I've accepted that my first, 50 videos will be trash and I'll be looking nervous in the camera and yada yada yada. But I think that's why everybody starts, and I believe that my 51st video and onwards, that's when I'll have more experience and I'll be more confident with the camera, and it's made me build an appreciation for content creators out there. The main takeaway on this video is that I organize my phone based on one key concept, and that's friction. You'll notice that I'm adding friction to the apps that I most likely procrastinate with. But at the same time, I'm subtracting the friction to the apps that help me do work, that keep me productive and focused at the task at hand. A quick disclaimer, this setup has been working for me, but it may not work for you. There's no right or wrong way to organize your phone, because at the end of the day, it's your life. Organize your phone in a way that suits your lifestyle. Experiment and find what works best for you. All right, with that out of the way, let's just have a look at what's on my phone. So firstly, I structure my phone into 3 pages. The first page relates to university, and these are the apps that I want to be using every day. The second page acts as my utility page, and my third page is where I put all my social media and entertainment apps. All the apps that I would most likely procrastinate onto this third page, and this is where there's the most friction, because I'd have to swipe across all these pages just to access these apps. And you could argue that, oh yeah, you're just swiping twice and that's not enough. Yeah, I did that on purpose, and when I go on these apps I feel a little more guilty since I'm breaking my own rules and going behind my own promises. I do go on these apps during my free time and treat it like a reward for completing a task or making some progress on understanding university content. On my home row I have Spotify. And this is where I've been using Spotify since the start of uni, and this is what I've been listening to recently. I like catching up with new music, and I love Mac Airs. Yeah. I have Google Calendar, and this is where I store my timetable for uni, and I set my reminders and other events here if I ever have them. I have the calendar app on the top left corner because it tells the date. I use the clock app to set up my alarms. My body needs at least 7 hours of sleep, and I'm trying to fix my sleeping pattern. So tomorrow I want to wake up at 9:30, and then the next day I plan to wake up at 9 o'clock, then 8:30, and then I'll keep on going until I'm able to wake up at 7:30. I think this is an early enough time for me to wake up, since I'm more of an early bird than a night owl. And since exam season is like in 2 to 3 weeks, I want to be as productive as I can so that I'm confident as I can be for when I do sit those papers. I used to have the BBC weather app alongside with this, so I'd double check if it was going to rain the next day. That way I can coordinate my outfits based on the weather. Side note, I do enjoy fashion and I do take pride in dressing well. But since I'm in quarantine, I kept it minimal and just kept this one. Google Maps is pretty much used for my travel. Gmail, I'd use this to check my uni email. I get updates from my university, my lectures, and I just get general news and just general updates really. The Notes app is like an underrated app. I use this on a daily basis. I won't go into this because I have personal notes here which I'm not willing to share. I write down my video ideas here and I record my gym progress here. What's great about this app is that when I'm writing notes on my iPad right here, I can refresh those notes onto my phone here, so I can add more notes when I'm relaxing or just chilling. I've recently been using GoodNotes 5 on my iPad to take notes, and sometimes I like to open them up when I'm just relaxing, or when I'm just in bed and I'm just looking at my notes before I go to sleep. And it's been really helpful, and it's been really useful for that spaced repetition. Audible. Now, I've not really used this yet, but it's something I want to include in my life. Reading books is something that I would love to do, since I'm aware that you can learn so much from the wisdom of other people. Turning Point is used for lecturers, but I've not been using this recently. It's basically a voting app where students have to answer multiple choice questions in the lecture, A, B, C, or D, and see how many people picked A, how many people picked B, C, and so forth. And just, it's a good indication to see if students are understanding the work. Since I go to the University of Sheffield, I have the Sheffield app. People use this to look up their timetables, as well as book study rooms, contact career services, or just have a look at the student union and see what events are being held. And low-key, we've been the #1 students' union in the UK for I think 10 years, 11 years, and that's really, really cool. I use Scannable to scan real-life documents or paper notes, like these notes for particle kinematics. And yeah, I'm gonna send these notes onto my iPad and save them there. Zoom meetings is where all my tutorial sessions are being held. Blackboard is where my online lectures are being held, and I also use this to check my grades. Note that I've turned off my notifications for mail. To enable and disable this, go to settings and scroll down to mail, notifications, and allow and not allow. If I was to allow notifications, as you can see, almost 9,000 plus unread emails, and I check my emails every day anyway, so I like to just keep that off, so no big number there. EE is my network provider, and this app helps me track my data usage. Shazam, super helpful, especially when I'm out with my mates and I don't know the song that comes on. Literally, when everyone's singing and chanting, I'm this guy that I would just lower the brightness because I'm quite ashamed, and then I would tightly grip my phone and click Shazam. And when my phone vibrates in a particular way, that's when I know the song has been added. And I'll add it to my listening list and be more updated to music. I use NatWest to keep an eye on my finances. I use a wallet for Apple Pay, and I think it's so cool that you can authenticate your card details with your face. I feel so bougie. Hold on, let me just take out my phone. Let me pay that. Just look at my phone, scan the beeps. It's just really cool. And recently, I've been catching up on the internet. It's been so helpful. I've been reading it a lot and just trying to catch up. Under the shopping app, my shopping folder, I have ASOS, Amazon, eBay, Unidays, Apple Store, and nothing interesting here. For travel, I have First Bus, so I can buy student tickets when I'm in Sheffield. When I'm in need of a taxi service, I cycle between city taxis, Uber and Ola. But they're all reliable taxi services to me. Whoever offers me the cheapest ride wins my money. And then under the photo and video folder, first Mojo. Now I use this app to create cool Instagram stories to let other people know that I've posted something new. And I mean, this is just a quick example. Oh, just something really cool. And I think it's really fun to do. I use InShot to if I ever want to make collages, but recently it was one of my closest mates' birthday. We have a BFF series. We take boomerangs and photos in events that we go to. Birthday parties, night outs, potlucks, pre-drinks, whatever. And these are priceless memories for me. So if you guys have a friend out there, just give them a call. Let them know that they're amazing. It'll make their day happier, and I'm sure it'll make your day happier. Next, I have Planoly, and this is my go-to app for organizing my Instagram feed. It's just simple. I add photos from my albums, and then once it's added, I get to rearrange them to however I like. Next, I use Lightroom to edit all my photos, including this one that I'm going to post on my Instagram soon. This is a work in progress, so yeah, I just enjoy using Lightroom. And finally, utilities, calculator, camera. MyFitnessPal, I should be using MyFitnessPal, but I keep it there just in case. But yeah, it's not something I'm focused on right now. I need to pass my exams. The last page. So first, these are my social media apps, and I like to use Instagram and TikTok a lot. And under my dangerous folder, I've got YouTube and Netflix. I use YouTube more often though. I'm usually watching tutorials or motivational study videos to get me going, but then over time I do get sidetracked and watch some other videos that's not related to my studies, and that's when I start to procrastinate and I don't even know it, and boom, that's when my whole day is gone. My food and drink apps. I don't really use this often. I have the luxury of staying at home and enjoying my mother's cooking like every single day, every dinner, so I don't need to order any food. I get to enjoy, the sinigang, the caldereta, the chicken adobo, spaghetti, all my mom's dishes, and I'm really, really fortunate to be in that position. I use the Weatherspoons app to order my food when I'm at Spoons with my uni mates, and yeah. This folder just has nothing. And note that I have perfect rows. It's like the cherry on the top, you get me? Now let me share with you which settings I've changed to add that friction. So firstly, I turn off a feature called Raise to Wake. It's under the display and brightness settings. I turn it on and off here. The reason why it's off is when I raise my phone, I'm more likely to go on it, use Face ID, and then go on the apps that I need to go on. It's just, there's just that little bit more friction so that I know that I'm using my phone for a reason. And then the next feature I like to put on is called grayscale. So if I triple tap this button, the wake button, my whole phone turns black and white. If I triple tap again, it turns back to color again. To enable and disable this, go to accessibility, scroll all the way down, accessibility shortcuts and color filters. The reason why I put this on is that when I realize that I'm on YouTube a lot, or when I'm on social media a lot, I discipline myself to triple tap, and it is helpful because now I'll be scrolling through Instagram or watching my videos in black and white. For me, like 5-10 minutes later, I stop using my phone. Okay, let's put it back to colors. Right, for my widgets, I only have 4 widgets, but the more widgets you have, more battery life your phone consumes, I believe. So I keep it minimal by putting my Google Calendar there, so I can just quickly glance at what I have the next day. For example, tomorrow, 1 o'clock, I have an ACS 232. That's a tutorial, I believe. Battery life, especially when, let's see if I put my earphones. Yeah, it shows my battery life of my earphones right there. I have the weather app here, and just to see what's next out of there. So Well, the one other thing that I do want to mention is that whenever you're working, make sure this is on. If people call you more than twice within 3 minutes, then that phone call won't be silenced, and that's most likely going to be an important call. And yeah, that's it. That's how I organize my phone. As I said in the beginning of this video, the thing that I want you to take away from it is to add friction to the apps that you most likely procrastinate with, and to remove the friction between the apps that help you become a productive god or goddess. But at the end of the day, just find what works for you the best. You've got games on your phone. I don't have games on my phone. The same concept applies. Add restrictions to yourself. And you might be thinking, oh, Aldrich, if you're talking about adding friction, why don't you just delete those social media and YouTube apps and things that make you procrastinate? Well, the reason being is that during my breaks, or when I'm in bed, or when I'm in the living room chilling, I do go on these apps. Like I want to go on these apps. I want to go online, see what my mates are up to. I want to watch any YouTube videos that I want to watch on that day. And during my breaks, I don't want to keep on re-downloading and then deleting, re-downloading, deleting. And I don't want to be in that cycle, because I'll just end up being frustrated. But that's what's been working for me, and that's how I've been able to do more work. If you have exams coming up in summer, so if you've got your GCSEs or your A-levels coming, then I wish you the best. Keep at it, right? The hours that you put in now, your future self would love to pat you on the back and hype you up, because your future self is based on the decisions you made. Thank you so much for watching this video. I do appreciate the time that you took out of your day to see what I have to say, or hear. I hope you stay safe out there, and all the best with your exams. Take care.